on my own and I'm not on. Come on here. So hey, it's your girl. It's your girl. I'm hollering. I'm yelling. It's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, I another on the show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation. And I'm heard live right here on IntellectualRadio.com. iHeartRadio. I'm telling y'all, I'm excited about being here. I got to make a few adjustments, so we may go to a break a little early today before we bring our conversations with Khalid in the house today. Of course, I'm always sponsored by Greater Love, Greater Works organization. Of course, you can call me, talk to me, and of course, we are willing to help in whatever way the Lord deems necessary. Also, Everything Moves Promoting and Consulting is our business. If you ever want to talk to someone who knows how to help you to figure out what your needs are, and you want to not have a deficit, and don't want your pastor, your teacher, your mate mad at you about spending all the money, you might want to hook up with me. Of course, my number is 630-935-9093, 630-935-9093. You want to hook up with me, okay? I'm also always am I sponsored by One Sister to Another LLC Courier. I'm the person when you want stuff moved, you might want to call me and ask me, hey, Pastor Angela, how can you make it all work? And then, of course, I do belong to a church. I'm covered by Apostle Charles Smith, my blood brother, and Judah Nation Outreach Center. I'm excited, y'all. We're going to be doing our soft launch on March the 25th, and then we're going to do the major launch on April the 30th. And I believe it's going to be at Northern Seminary, right there in Warrenville, Northern Seminary. Hey, if you go right there to Downers Grove, Butterfield, right there by the Red Lobster, you make a left turn and make a right on Warrenville Road. You're going to be right there. So it's nothing to it. Okay. Listen at this. Conversations with Khalid is going down today. Guess what I'm talking about today, Earl? I'm going to talk about something today that some of you all don't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about it today. And we're going to kick it off with conversations with Khalid at about 1:10. But I want to talk about today how you all are feeling about these, the apps, the dating apps. I want to talk about, now that I am a divorcee, I'm single. Yep. You can say whatever you want to say. You can even call in here and tell me how long I need to wait to even be talking about. Look, you might call in here and say, you should be waiting to say that you're a divorcee. You should be waiting to say that you're a single person. Nope. I don't have to wait on nothing. You got to wait. I don't have to wait. You're not going to push me. You're not going to strong arm me into being able to say when my pain just turned into my power. Hey, Pastor Sabrina has it. That's my sister. She wrote the book, Pain to Power. So no, you're not going to be able to tell me that. And so at the end of the day, I need you all to call in. Don't call in now. You're going to call in with us at about 1:30. 1:30, you're going to call in with us because we're going to talk to Khalid Scott from about 1:10 till about 1:30, okay? We may take a break or so, maybe. But definitely, I want to talk to you all today about how you're feeling about how soon should you be dating after devastation? How soon should you be dating after, of course, after, I got to watch that. How soon should you be dating after divorce? How soon should you be dating after devastation? How soon should you be dating if your mate left you? Come on. If you were never married, but he promised you marriage, how soon should you be dating after you got left at the altar? Or look, you should have been getting married. You guys planned to get married and it didn't happen. I want to give some shout outs right now. So of course, Khalid Scott's going to be with me at 1:10, but got to give a shout out to DJ Brandon Barker. Y'all do know that DJ Brandon Barker, my brother, for real. But look, this is how I met him. He likes Tamara Fair on the Brunch Bunch. And I say, so you cheating on me, but you like it on Tamara Fair. Tamara Fair is one beautiful, beautiful sister. But okay, it's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, we're One Sister to Another with the show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation heard live right here at IntellectualRadio.com, iHeartRadio. This is what I want to tell you all as well. I need you all to stop what you're doing right now, and I need you to go ahead and share this broadcast, share the video, share the podcast from YouTube. Don't share it necessarily from my live. Share it from YouTube. How do you need to do that? You need to go out there to YouTube and like Intellectual Radio. Go out to the YouTube and like Intellectual Radio. And what you're going to do is you're going to get a clear, concise sound. Did y'all hear what I just said? Go out there on YouTube and like Intellectual Radio, subscribe, and you will be alerted about shows like this, like mine. Okay. I believe I'm the number one show. Somebody else might think they the number one show too, but I surely believe I'm one of the number one shows. Okay, y'all. IntellectualRadio.com, iHeartRadio. Hey, if you go out there and you like the Intellectual Radio shows out there on of course on YouTube, you're going to be alerted when folks like me are on some of your number one shows. Of course, I am IntellectualRadio.com radio. I'm gonna go to my first break, and when I come back, one sister to another, I'm the show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation. I'm heard live right here at IntellectualRadio.com. We're an iHeartRadio station, but I'm telling you all, what you may want to do is you may want to connect with me about advertising your business on my segment that's called Minding Your Own Business. But for sure, you definitely want to hook up with me, and you want to be able to be interviewed on my amazing show, because I expose to the world quality shows, quality interviews, and I do not take no for an answer. As a matter of fact, can I give a shout out to my Savannah, Georgia internet radio station, Mr. Ike, if you're out there, Ike. And then later on, I'm going to give a shout out to my folks over in Texas. Going to be with them on January the 28th. I'm so excited. Y'all, I'm going to Cancun for my birthday. I'm praying to Jesus that my team, Tamara and Trailer, goes with me. But for my birthday, March 9th on, I'm going to Cancun, Mexico, because I'm living, I'm loving, and I'm laughing. I will be right back. One sister to another. IntellectualRadio.com, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back. Is There a Praise in the House? Byron Crenshaw and also Ricky Watkins. Ricky Hawkins, who is also some kin to the famous Hawkins singers. They were my guest on last week. So listen, they were my guest on last week, and I feel like the show this week is going to be kind of like an extension of the show on last week. Listen at this. So I've got my guy, I got my boy on the phone, none other than Khalid Scott is here with me. Khalid, hey.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon. And how you doing today, Angela?
I am doing really, really good. And I couldn't do it without having conversations with Khalid Scott on this amazing, amazing Saturday afternoon. But Khalid, and so I'm gonna bring you right in because I just believe that we need this today. So I want to kind of hit you with what our conversation was last week, and then we're going to have segue right into what our conversation is going to be for this week with you. But for sure, let me just say that on last week, Khalid, I asked a question about the man, and I want to talk about males. No point intended. I want to talk about males. I want to talk about that male, Khalid, who is between the ages of like 45 and 60. And I asked the question: is a male who does not deal with confrontation and resolve? He kind of says this: I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to fool with it because that stresses me out and gives me makes my blood pressure go up. And of course, I said, baby, if your blood pressure is up, it's because you eating too much salt. But anyway, if you don't deal with confrontation, if you do not deal with conflict and resolve properly, will that cause that male to be identified as mentally unstable? And I'm not necessarily saying that he needs medication or not, but I am saying he may be a little bit unstable versus, watch this, versus that person like me who does deal with it. I step in there with you. I do not have skeletons in closets. I don't sweep stuff under the rug. But I also need to deal with it a certain way, an appropriate way. Otherwise, I am also not really mentally stable. Talk to us just a little bit about that, and then we're going to talk about some other stuff.
Okay, so you kind of answered your own question.
That's good.
When you said how somebody handles things and that impacts their life versus how you handle things impact your life, right? Oh, you have two type of people in the world, or three type of people. You have an extrovert, you have an introvert, and then you have the person who's in the middle who's a 50-50, right? And so extroverts, kind of like how me and you are, we face challenges right there, right? We know for us to feel normal and in tune that we got to deal with things right there in real time, right? Then you might have a person who's an introvert who says, you know what? Life has taught me to be a little bit more laid back, kind of observe more, kind of go under the radar, and that works for me. And then you got that person in the middle who's kind of, depending on the situation, who needs to show up? Does my extrovert need to show up because of this? Or does my introvert need to show up, right? And all three, there's no wrong, right? So when you say that guy who, and I'm assuming you mean like, say if you're dating a 51-year-old and y'all get into a disagreement and he kind of says, you know what, babe, you kind of being extra right now. I'm about to go down to my man cave. I'll holler at you when kind of like things kind of calm down. If that's that person's coping strategy, then there's nothing to criticize, right? But now, if that person does this, right, and there comes to no resolution, right, like I have a big problem and this person doesn't help contribute to making that problem go away, then that's when you have to say, well, why are you so aloof? Why do you go in the opposite direction? And again, we got to look at people's backgrounds. Sometimes people do things because they know it's going to protect them, right?
That's
so
good.
To be honest, depending on the person, right, then you got to respect where they're at. Like I wouldn't want somebody to try to change me from being extroverted because being extroverted, a go-getter, has helped me be successful in my life, right? While somebody who may be real laid back, that keeps them looking like they're 25, even though they're 55. Because why? They don't let nothing stress them out.
So I want you to stop right there. I'm glad you mentioned that word. I want you to stop right there at stress. But here's my deal. But So somebody mentioned to me this week at work, we were having this conversation, and they merely said it this way, and it brought me to tears because I owned my own stuff. They said, Angela, nobody is responsible for making you happy. Nobody is responsible for making you happy other than you. So I want to talk about that stress word a little bit, okay? If you're a person, though, Khalid, who causes the stress, you're a person that, let's go there, throws the rock and hides your hand. You're the mess starter. Now, let's talk about men for a second. If you're a brother who shuts down every time you've done something and a sister is challenging you, then you're a mess starter. You're the fire starter. To me, that is totally different than this that you've just talked about in your opening. And I love it, right? But the bottom line is that to me, mental unstable immaturity seems to walk in this space as well when we do not deal with let's talk about it, when we do not deal with stress the right way. What about for that person who is you causing your own stress? Because what if the sister tell me in my office the other day, you're responsible to make sure your own heart is on point. You're in charge of your own happiness, Angela.
Right. So Angela, again, you just answered your own question. If I'm dating you, Angela, and I keep bringing trauma and drama in your life, that means that works for me to do that. And I do it to you because guess what? You allow me to do it,
That's
right?
Good. That's good. Real good.
So at the end of the day, as your coworker friend said to you, you are in charge of Angela's happiness, not Khalid. So if I have shown you a pattern of behavior that is not of your liking, it behooves you to do something different.
You just
it's
helped.
Working for me.
Go ahead, because it's working.
It's working for me. I get the results, right? Because I ruin your day. And maybe because somebody ruins my day, I want to ruin other people's day. And if you my lady and I'm taking it out on you and it ruins your day, I just accomplished my mission.
So let's put a cursor right there real quick. I'm not talking about boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm talking about even friends. You know, you have different types of friends. It doesn't matter, right? Okay. So I loved it. Khalid. So I had you to go into last week. Now let's go into this week. Khalid. And so our theme for today is dating. And I want to talk about dating as we know it today. And I also want to kind of get your spin on when is a proper time for a divorcee to start dating? When is a proper time for a person who has walked through or been through devastation? When is a good time for them to date? Last but not least, I want to talk about dating apps, Christian, non-Christian dating apps. And what do you believe those can add to the scenario? Or is it negative? Is it positive? Talk to us just a little bit about dating and when is a good time to date when we have been through, come on, let's just talk about it. Trauma, divorce, somebody walking off, leaving you, you've been dating them and they just walk off, leave you kind of hanging. Talk to me.
Okay. So one of the things that I've learned as a clinician over my 30 years of doing this work, that we all have our own coping mechanisms, right? Right? And that when I say we have our own, that what may work for me may not work for you. Or maybe part of what works for me may work for you, but not the 100%,
This
right?
Is good. Mm-hmm.
So this is where you have to kind of sit down in your quiet face and say, what do I want from this, right? So I work with married couples, right? And some of the married couples end up saying, you know what, Dr. Scott, we're going to go ahead and get a divorce because this is not working. We tried. We gave it 100%. But we've come to a point, especially as being in therapy, that I got to take care of me. And taking care of me means I can't be with this person anymore. We'll co-parent. We'll handle the finances like we got to handle, but we need to be in two different spaces because we're not there no more, right? So then you get one of the spouses who might say, because I've been married 27 years, 10 years, I like having a warm body with me every night, and I'm not going to give up that feeling. So they go immediately and find somebody. Hell, they might find somebody before they sign the divorce papers, right?
Is that bad? Is that bad though or good?
It sure is. It sure is. It sure is bad.
Okay.
Because what happens is you don't get to grieve and detox the hurt and the loss. Because your attention goes on somebody else. And what happens is that person, the new person, inherits what your wife just divorced you from. Because remember, I haven't had time to grieve the loss. I haven't thought about what part did I play in this divorce. I'm immediately going to try to get my needs met by having a new person. And so the unfairness comes is because I haven't went through my metamorphosis of change and healing, the new person gets dumped on, right? Because I haven't figured me out yet, right? For me, and this is my personal experience as well as professional,
okay,
we all need that alone time. And I mean alone time, not even going on dates, not even looking at the dating apps, but just to say, you and your higher power sit down and say, what was the lesson that I needed to learn in that 27-year marriage? What is the lesson that I needed to learn from me, that 10-year marriage? What do I want in a future spouse? What don't I want? What are my non-negotiables? What are the things that I will accept? But you need that time to think about it, right? Because when a marriage or a breakup happens, to be honest, it's both parties' fault. It's never one person's fault. Never. Let me repeat that again. Never. Now, one person may have done more to contribute to the fallout, but both parties had something to contribute. And that's a hard pill to swallow, right? Because we both want to feel like, no, I'm the victim. No, I'm the victim. No, you're the villain. No, you're the villain. The reality is you're both. You're the villain and you're the victim. Now you got to decide what's going to make me the hero. Because remember, it's a triad. Hero, villain, victim. You have to decide which one are you going to be. And see, for me, when I got divorced, wow, I played victim at first, right? Because my wife asked me for the divorce. So I'm like, how can my wife want to divorce me? I've never cheated. I never put my hands on her. I paid the bills. I'm a great dad to our daughter. I bought a house. You know what I'm saying? I did everything Oprah said on her TV show to do as a husband, right? So I am the victim. But then I had to say, what made her say she wanted to divorce you in the first place if you were so perfect?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my wife saying at our divorce hearing, the last one, Khalid suffocated me. And that was real powerful to hear. While I thought I was adorning her with my love, right? I was suffocating her. Because I wanted to be Heathcliff Huxtable, right? And I wanted her to be my Claire Huxtable. But the reality is I married a free spirit. So I really was married to Denise Huxtable, right? But I wanted her to be Claire. She didn't want to be Claire. And she has the right not to be Claire, right? But that took me to sit alone in my stuff to gather that, right? I wouldn't have done that if I immediately found a new Claire. That new Claire would have got what my former wife would have got, because I wouldn't have learned no lessons. So that's why I tell people, you got to take time for you. Have the greatest love affair with yourself first. Learn to love you, because when you are in love with you, then you won't take garbage on no level.
So I wonder if you would, Khalid, I got to get you to stay an extra 5 minutes with us. Is that okay? Because I got to throw something at you. Okay, so check this out. So you said all of that, and we're gonna go here, and then you're gonna talk to us just a little bit about. Okay, so after you've gone through the trauma and sat with yourself, all of that, I want you to talk to us just a little bit about: do you believe in dating apps? Don't you believe? And I want you to tell me why. But right here, you said something. You said we are the victim, we're the victor, we're the victim, and there was one more thing. Go ahead. What did you say?
You're the victim, the villain, and the hero.
And the hero. Now stop right there. Now, so both parties are the reason why you divorce, but the party who asked for the divorce and we both decide to divorce, that party comes back. The party who decides that we're going to get a divorce comes back, and they begin to retract. That's confusing, Khalid. Now I don't feel like a victim anymore. I mean, I don't feel like a victor. I don't feel nothing, right? Because now I'm confused. I'm more confused now than I was before, because now you're coming back and you're saying, now that I think about it, I'm wondering if I could have handled this in a different way. Talk to us right there. Somebody's right there today, because that husband or that wife came back and they said, I was wrong.
Right.
This really has never been about you. Because let me tell you what I've noticed, and I want you to just comment. You can go ahead and give me some feedback on this. What I found out, Khalid, is that men are not leaving their wives for careers, for cars, none of that. They're not leaving their wives because of that. They're not sometimes leaving their wives because of something she did wrong. They're leaving their wives for another woman who may be able to make them feel better about themselves. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and give you this fact. 70 to 80% of divorces are, guess who are initiated by? Women. Women are initiating more divorces, right? If you didn't know that, right?
I did.
And 70 to 80%, because what you need to understand about men is, men, we like comfort zones. That's why we have that space on the couch. That's why we create man caves down in the basement. That's why we tend to go to the same restaurants, right? We wear the same suits to church, wear the same jogging suits on the weekend. We like comfortability because we deal with everything in the world. And so when we come home, which is supposed to be our comfort zone, we don't want to fight, fuss, bicker. So that's why we retreat, right? And that's why we become aloof. And that's why we don't argue, right? So now to address what you just brought up, what if the person changes their mind? Absolutely, that can happen. We all have the capacity to say, I'm feeling this way on Monday, but by the time Saturday gets here, I'm feeling a different way. And maybe that person needed to say something so provocative as, I want a divorce, because they need to hear it in their head and they want you to hear it as their spouse.
Correct.
For both of you all to pause and like, what are we doing wrong here?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We got to hit the reset button, because this is not going. And so that's why people go into marriage there, because they're like, we're at the end of the rope. What else can we do to try to salvage this relationship? Let's go and see Dr. Scott, because maybe we are missing it somewhere. And maybe an outside force can say, hey, you got to, in order to get back to the love, right? You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to change this. You got to ratify that.
I love it. I love it. I love it, Khalid. I love it. And I'm not trying to cut you off. I love it. I love it. But you all, just so you know, Khalid, Conversations with Khalid takes place every first Saturday of the month. He's out here with me, but I gotta talk to him about the subject matter at hand as well. Khalid, you know you're on fire right now, right? And we're all learning so much. Here's the other thing. My show is unorthodox, people. And so, yes, I've got out there, we're gonna be talking about dating apps, Christian, non-Christian, all that, right? But sometime when the Holy Ghost shift a thing, I gotta shift with it, and I own the right to be able to do that. Khalid, I want you to talk to me just a little bit before we have to let you go, though. Talk to us just a little bit. Do you believe in dating apps, and why? Or if
Okay.
not, why don't you?
Okay. So, Angela, I can stay however long you need me to. So
Okay,
you don't
cool.
have to watch the clock.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's one. Number two, I do not believe in dating apps. I
Why? Okay.
absolutely do not. Absolutely not.
Tamara say she don't
Um,
either. She don't either. Tamara say she don't either.
right.
Okay, so tell us why.
Okay. So I was born in 1969, right? So I became 20 in 1999. So in the 90s is when I was young and out here in the streets and in my, initial relationships with women. And I remember dating. I remember courting, right? I remember, seeing a young lady at the grocery store, seeing a young lady in my complex in a laundry room, seeing a young lady at a party. One of my good friends saying, "Hey, Khalid, man, my cousin is single, and I know you single. Can I,
She liking on you.
connect you?" Right? And it had a fluidity with it, right? And when you met the first time, you knew right then and there if it was a spark, right? With these dating apps, it takes that away, right? Because remember, you have to create a profile. So you're scanning through your phone to look at what picture makes you look good, right?
So
And to
true.
the person meeting you naturally, right? I'm going on a face app to make my face look a certain way, and then I'm gonna post that picture, and then I'm gonna read like I'm Denzel Washington on my profile page, right? So is the person really getting the true person, or they getting the figment of my imagination that I really want to be, right? And so then, for me, it's an agenda with dating apps, right?
Tell us
And
about
then
the
remember,
agenda.
because I was looking at some of that dating apps when you told me what the subject matter was going to be, and they all have a monthly some of them are like $30 a month, up to $5 a month, right? And you get what you pay for. So the best one, which would be kind of like the eHarmony and Elite Singles and Zeus and Christian Mingles and Black People Meet. You're going to pay for what you get, right? And then I listen to people a lot, right? So I hear all the horror stories about Khalid. I met this person online and And before I knew it, I was like, oh my God, I met a stalker. I met a serial killer. And I even had my own personal experience, about, my ex who met somebody online and made me feel like they were grooming my daughter.
Wow.
Right. And because I know everybody, I was able to get a background check on this person. Come to find out, this man had lived with 16 other women.
Now you helping.
But listen, please. And the reason why I'm getting this out is because you don't know what you're getting into. And somebody could say, well, Khalid, if I meet somebody at the grocery store, they could be that same person. But see, God gives us an instinct about us.
That's
right?
correct. Mm-hmm.
That when we lay eyeballs to eyeballs on people, we can get a sense of who is this person? And then when we're talking to them, right? See, if I'm talking to you on the phone, it's different than being in person with you. I can see your body movements, your gestures, right? So for me, and the disclosure is, it's not for me. I think I'm Morris Chestnut Jr., right? Right? So I know I can find a woman anywhere I walk. I don't have to do it on the computer. Now, am I confident? Yes. Right? Am I strong-willed? Yes. Am I extrovert? Yes. I don't have to feel like I got to get on my phone and meet somebody. right? But then other people may feel, well, it's convenient. I work 2 jobs. I ain't trying to be out in the streets like that. So it is convenient for me to get on these apps, right? Let me share a quick story with you, Angela. I got a buddy, right? And I won't give you his name. He's an ex-football player, football player, high school and college, right? Didn't go to the NFL. I remember I went over to his house one day and he was on his computer and I'm sitting next to him talking to him. So he was like, Khalid, I'm on these 5 apps. I'm like, or dating sites at the time. And I'm like, why are you, the ex-football player, 6'3", dark-skinned, bald head, look like you can knock over a building if you hit it? Why do you need to be on a dating site? You know what my friend told me, Angela? He said, Khalid, you know I have a daughter, right? Yeah. Well, Khalid, I really don't want to date a woman in Chicago. Because if she got some mess going on, I don't want her knocking on my door at midnight while my daughter in the bedroom sleep, right? So what I do, Khalid, is I find women in other states to date. And I'm like, okay, right. So Khalid, listen to this. This is the move right here, bro. These women pay for me to come and see them. So I get a free trip out of town. I have sex the whole weekend, and then I come home. And I don't have to worry about somebody knocking at my door at midnight. So I said, so it's an agenda with you, right? He was like, yes. He said, it's a playboy's dream. That's a real story I'm telling you right now. And if he's doing it, I know he's not the only one that's doing it.
And it's old already, Khalid. You and I are, I'm 57 years doggone old, almost 3-time girl. It's old. But guess what? We know that it's happening, right? So what do you say? What do you say to that? Okay, so I'm loving that you have your opinion about it. I have some friends who met each other on the dating app, and of course, they're 14 years into being married. They have a healthy marriage. But I also have some friends who just met each other on a Christian dating app in Dallas, and they will be getting married in November. No, so I don't know that I like it, don't like it, or none of that yet, right? I really don't know. But I will say this: my brother Teddy, who kind of agrees with you, Khalid, he said. You got to just, because I was talking about it the other day on my Let's Chit, Let's Chat, Let's Walk, Let's Pray. And he said, but you got to, it's too dangerous. He said, you got to watch out for people. So, of course, my issue is, yeah, but I was married to a preacher who loved the Lord. I love the Lord. He loved the Lord. And I thought that we were going to grow old together. And we're not, because, hey, at the end of the day, he left. So did I marry the right person? Was I with the right person, or did that person just change? And I know you'll probably have a answer to that, right? But I'm just saying. So I'm saying, even with a dating app, not with a dating app, old-fashioned way of doing it, not old-fashioned way of doing it. Here's what somebody else told me, Khalid. Another young man I asked about the dating app, because like you, I was just trying to find out, as much information as I could about how people felt about it. And he said, it's none of anybody's business what someone else does. And that is true. But I can agree with you, right, Khalid? I can agree with you in some points, and then some points I don't have to, because I don't know the apps that well. But I will say, people you got to be careful no matter what. Khalid, how do you think a person's mental space is? And just give it to me raw. How do you think a person's mental space is being out on dating apps?
Well, so
it's a juicy question.
Let me backtrack just a little bit. Remember, I said earlier, to each his own. Whatever works for you works for you. You know who you are. Remember, I said I know how to go to a grocery store, go to a get together, and meet somebody.
Absolutely
comfortable to do it. Somebody else may be comfortable meeting somebody on their cell phone. If that is your comfort zone, have at it, right? We all get to choose our happiness, right? And how we get there, right? So for me, and when you asked about the mental state, I'm assuming that if you're sitting here paying a service to help you find love or company, that means you're like, I really want to be with somebody, right? I'm tired. Maybe I did go to single parties. Maybe I do go to church, but it's only 5 men and 20 women in church. And so those 5 men are being used and passed around. So maybe somebody did try to do it the old-fashioned way. But they like, well, I'm going to be open to this new. Because I'm hearing my girlfriend saying, hey, I met my husband. Hey, I say, hey, I met Helter Skelter on there or whatever. So why not try it out? And my thing is, yes, try it out. Nothing beats a failure but a try.
But be discerning, right?
Absolutely.
Listen at this, y'all. Khalid Scott is on the line with us right now. We got to let him go because the phone is ringing off the hook because folk want to chime in. But look, Khalid, how can people get in touch with you? Because we want to talk to you, sit down with you professionally in your, of course, professionally and get therapy. How can we call you?
My number is 312-43-SCOTT, SCOTT.
And then, of course,
you can find.
Go ahead.
312-43-SCOTT, 437-2688. You can find me on www.psychologytoday.com. And I'm on all social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
All as Khalid Scott. Khalid, thank you so much. You are all of our big brother that of course, I've got big brothers, but you're that big brother that all of us really pretty much need because you shoot from the hip. I want you to know that we honor you and it speaks volumes about who you are because you're able to do that with us, okay?
Thank you so much.
We will talk to you soon. Listen at this. Of course, I am one sister to another. I'm the show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation heard live right here at IntellectualRadio.com. Listen at this. I'll be right back. But when I tell y'all, this is I want to talk about this a little bit more. Okay, Khalid is scared. Khalid say, look, he don't like it. Tomorrow say, she don't like it. I'm going to find out from Earl if he like it. Look, dating apps, are they good? Are they not? Look, what it brings, what it is, what it isn't, all of that. Some people are saying yes. Some people are saying no. I want to talk about it. We'll be right back. We will be right back. We'll be right back. IntellectualRadio.com. One sister to another. Let's talk dating. Let's talk dating apps and let's talk Christian apps. Let's just talk about dating, period. Okay? Love y'all. We'll be right back. Hey, it's your girl. Look, I'm back. Listen, y'all just don't know, but look, this theme today is about get down with the get down. Of course, y'all know we heard from our boy Khalid Scott, our mental clinician. But now, listen, now I got my new, I call her my new god baby. She told me she was my god baby, so I got my god baby on. Okay, so Cinda, her name is Cinda Red, y'all. She works in aviation with me. I just happen to be a boss, but that I don't care nothing about none of that. But I told her when she calls in, she is free to say whatever she want to say as long as she don't cuss. Cinda,
right,
you and
I
were talking about this yesterday. Wait till tomorrow, hear what you get ready to say. So, Cinda, could you share with our listeners right now, why do you believe the dating app works and why you believe it doesn't work? And can you just share your age? Nobody knows who you are. Share your age with us.
I am 32 years old. I believe the dating app works like for myself because I'm on the dating app. It's a conveniency for me because I don't have time to meet and go out and hang out and meet new people. And also it's an educational process for me because I'm able to meet different backgrounds and culture. It's a learning experience. But the cons of it is there's a lot of weird people on there.
Yes.
But if you know the type of person you are, you don't have to accept the weirdness of the behavior. You just stroll on by. It's that simple. Just make an X and keep it moving.
But
Huh?
Go ahead. But you also believe that a lot of people get on there for snatch and grab.
Oh yeah, a smash and dash. There's a lot, people only go like they get out of a situation, like they just got out of a relationship. They're not looking for nothing serious. They don't have much time to date or court anyone. So they just on there to smash and dash. And then you have some people who's on there specifically looking for love and dating. That goes back to what I was saying again. It's your preference. You allow what's been brought to you. And even if you want to accept it, you don't have to. Some people want to do the smash and dash. And some people like, no, I'm going to keep it moving because you're not what I want.
So tell us this, Cinda, tell us this. Give some of the young women your age or period. Give some of the young women and men for that reason. Give them some rules give them 3 things they should really watch for on the dating app that will help them not to get had. 3 things. Go ahead.
Oh, cat pictures. I'm a stickler for pictures. This is 2023. Everybody got iPhones today, but today was FaceTime. If I'm having a 5-minute conversation with you and we exchange number and I know you have an iPhone, FaceTime me. Don't text me. I don't like texting.
Say it again. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't like texting. Don't text my phone.
Come on,
FaceTime.
give me the second one. What's the next one?
Second one is you want somebody to match your flow. But what I mean is if I have a job, you should have a job. If I have a car, you should have a car. If I have my own crib, you should have your own crib. You don't want to be Bob the Builder or Miss Betty Crocker to nobody. Have your own. And for 3, know who you are.
That's good.
And what you allow them to sell.
Very good.
Know who you are.
Very good.
Don't be a pushover.
Very good.
You got some smooth operators and you got some Janet Jacksons out there. They look good, they look bad. But when you meet them, they...
Now, you just said a whole lot right there, God, baby. Look, I got to let you go because, of course, we got some other folk that want to call in. But I love you, Cinda.
I love you, too.
All right, honey. Talk to you soon. Listen at this. One of the things Khalid Scott just said on my feed, I got to read that. It says, according to statistics, Digital Marketing Outlook, online dating services are expected to have reached 413 million active users worldwide by the end of 2022. And of course, that's February 11th. But listen, I want y'all to hear this too. Call in 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953, or should I be looking for some? I want to give some of y'all comments. Look, Khalid Scott also says, which dating site has the highest success rate? It is eHarmony. I don't know that black folk are hooking up with eHarmony, but anyway, it's the highest success rate. eHarmony. What dating site has the highest? eHarmony is a dating site that has the highest dating statistics, of course, that has, I'm looking for people looking to build a serious relationship. It's reassuring to know that this dating site has seen more than 2 million users. Let me give a fact. About the dating sites. When you sign into the dating sites, they don't initially ask you for any money. Let me just give that fact. They don't ask you for money. But what they do is it's suggestive. Just like when you go to the McDonald's, you can't never get that cheeseburger and that pop. They always want to, no, you can never just get the Happy Meal. They're always trying to get you to get a pie and a cookie and all this other stuff. Dating sites, and I ain't mad at them. Come on here tomorrow. I ain't mad at them because y'all know what? They're doing something that some of us have not learned how to do. Because if I was smart, I would have my own dating doggone site. How about that? I would have a dating site called Get Real, Get Raw with Angela and go and make that money. Because at the end of the day, they do not ask you for money off the bat. They ask you for money when they want you to find out who's liking you, meaning liking your photo. How you know so much? Because I done been out there. I went out there so that when I'm talking about this doggone stuff, I'll know what I'm talking about factually, right? So I agree with all of y'all in a sense, okay? But they don't initially ask you for money at the top of the thing. They ask you for money as you're going through, and as they are, they're trying to, they want to get you to sign up, Earl, for the monthly subscription. Which ain't nothing wrong with that. They smart, if you really want to know the truth. So eHarmony, Christian Mingle, all the rest. But how about this? If y'all want to get smart, can I hit y'all with a little something? Now, y'all don't tell them I told you. Facebook dating situation is free. And you know, y'all need to hear tomorrow. The Facebook dating situation is absolutely free. And let me tell y'all, you know everybody out there. Come on here. That's a shame. I got 5,000 friends out there on Facebook, and I just about can't delete none of y'all because I know all y'all. But let me see what it says. Come on, Gary Calhoun, to call in 708-223-8953. This is a high. I know I got to do a part 2 to this. Look, Khalid says, which dating site has the most users over 50? Now, this is good because y'all know I'm 50 on the 7. I'm the new 40 to the 7. Come on here. So Khalid says, which dating site has the most users over 50? It's going to be, again, let me see. Senior Match, eHarmony, Singles in 50, Our Time, OkCupid, Elite Singles, and Christian Mingle. They have the most. So they have the ones that are hot for those of us who are over 50. Come on here. And then Anitra Howard says, I again don't believe in these dating apps. Y'all know Anitra Howard is like, she the other part of my conscience. She says, I don't believe in these dating apps, but in my opinion, I believe that the paid apps would draw a different audience than the ones that are free. I agree with you too, baby girl. I feel that anytime money is invested in general, the goal mission is taken more seriously. Now, I believe in that as well. Y'all, let me look one more place because I want to see. I want to read some of these. Okay, of course, y'all just heard from Cinderella. Cinderella says, I disagree. Dating apps have connected lots of people who would have never, ever connected. That's why they are so popular. She says, dating, courting are essential in developing strong relationships. This, of course, is what Tamara, my girl, is saying. Cinderella also says, well, Khalid, I think dating apps are awesome because for an individual like myself, that's my God baby, y'all, my other God baby. She said, I'm extremely busy and I don't have time to mingle and jingle. But did you all also hear what Cinderella said too? She said some of y'all are just on there for the snatch and grab. Now, let me talk about that for a minute before it's time for me to go off, because I'm gonna have to go off in a few minutes. Some of you all are on there for the snatch and grab. You're going to end up with your butt with a little something. You're going to end up with a little package. Don't you be going on no day nap. Did you hear me tomorrow? Tell my people out there tomorrow. I said, don't take your butt out there on no day nap talking about you snatching and grabbing. Y'all do know what Cinderella is talking about, right? She say some of y'all, I hope I can say it the way she said. She say some of y'all are out there, or some of you all, you get on the day nap. You know the joker ain't worth 2 cents, whether she's a girl or not, a girl, guy, whatever. But y'all can't get a. This is what she said last night. She said, but you sisters, y'all can't get away from the D. My God. Okay, so since she can't get away, she said, and I said, daughter, can you please break that down a little bit more? And y'all know she did, right? Because I'm slow on all situations, on all levels. I'm slow. But that's what she said. But y'all know what? I believe her. Totally. I believe that some of you all, the reason why you can't break away is because of the letter. Okay, anyway, because y'all will never be able to write into my pastor and tell him that I said that. But anyway, listen at this. I'm telling you all, don't go on the date nap to be having sex with somebody. Please don't do that. Don't go on the date nap. None of them. Christian Mingle. Let me tell y'all what I found out. If they on Christian Mingle, and they do not have on there, I'm going to shift a little bit. If they're on Christian Mingle and they do not have where they work, don't you dare even like their picture. Don't do it. Okay? If a joker can't put out there where he works, what he does for a living, please, do not touch it with a 10-foot pole. He don't deserve your time. If you cannot put out there that you work, how about this? If a joker's picture shows them smoking a cigarette, don't do it. I don't care if you smoke, don't do it. Did y'all hear what I just said? Do not do it. Let me see what they're saying now. And Nietzsche says, say that, Pastor Angela, they're going to snatch up something they can't get rid of. Oh! Did y'all hear Nietzsche? She said, look, keep on snatching and grabbing, okay? You're going to snatch up some stuff that you can't get rid of. Look, I only got 3 more minutes. Look, did you get your book yet? I got to go, y'all. Did you get your Gone Girl 31-Day Mass of Devotional? Did you get the book? If you did not purchase the book yet, would you please go ahead and inbox me or go ahead and send me a text and say, Pastor Angela, I don't have the book, but I surely would love to have it. I'm getting ready to go mail some books right before my next I got a meeting today. One of my friends, the Duncans, are getting married. Prophetess Mary Duncan is getting married. So, of course, I'm going to be hanging out with her. But listen at this. I need you all to make sure that you go get the book. I'm going to mail off some books. Okay, Earl say I can take one more caller. Go ahead, caller. Who are you and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Garrett Calhoun.
You got to hurry up, man. You done waited till the end of the show. We got to go. Go ahead. What's your comment or your question?
Yeah, I would suggest a dating app because if you do a lot of research, only maybe 15-20% of those really work out. Within a year, those relationships fall apart.
So are you saying don't suggest
right,
it?
I said don't.
Right, okay, don't. So he doesn't suggest
it. Right. If you do, be very, very careful. I think you gave him good counseling. Be very, very careful if you do use a dating app.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Thank you for calling in. Okay, my brother.
All right.
Okay, y'all don't know this, but Gary, I think he does massages. Listen at this. I got to go. It's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. This show has been hot. So y'all know what? Next week, we got to continue. You know why? I didn't get half of the people to call in. I need to have call in. When I tell you, I needed to have the conversation I had with Khalid that we had because I think it really does kind of set us off. It set a precedent about what we want to do with these apps, what we don't want to do, and just what we want to do, period, with relationships. Is it time after devastation? Would it be time? When is a good time to start dating after you have, of course, divorced or been through trauma with the relationship? He said it best, and I'm going to end my show by saying it, right? That I think we need to take some time for yourself. But now I want to ask the question, if the man left, the girl left a year ago, have you had some time to be with yourself? Anyway, I'm the show. Look, one sister to another, I'm the show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation. We're heard live right here, IntellectualRadio.com. Don't forget, if you want the book, all you need to do is inbox me or text me, 630-935-9093. Next week, we're going to talk about it some more. What about the dating app? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I got to go. Thank you, Earl Winfrey. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Trailer. Thank you, Maxine Owens. Thank you, my team. One sister to another. We love you all. Today is a gift from God. What you do today is your gift back to him.
I love me. I am worthy. I'm a queen. I adore me. I love my skin, my melanin, as so without, as so within. I am light. I am love. So below and as above. Imperfect in every way, and that's okay. There's something about Sunday. In order to